Hi, Steve Fields here from Hobie Fishing, and I've got the privilege to be here interviewing Stewart Dunn from New South Wales, who's just taken out the 2015 Hobie Kayak Bream Championships, which is sponsored by Daiwa. Stewie, what a script! I mean, I was literally shaking with today's weigh-in because of the people who didn't get lots of fish, and you must have felt the same thing being in that hot seat.
Oh, I thought maybe, I knew I had two good fish. I thought maybe I could come back with a top 5 because I heard a few of the top guys didn't do so good, but I didn't expect to be anywhere near here, that's for sure.
You know, something we had on stage earlier that we talked about is, and I remember there's probably a handful of guys now that are still here that were there in that first day at Hen and Chicken Bay down in 2009. And you've been around these tournaments a long time. What drives you to just keep coming to these tournaments? You know, what are we doing that attracts these for you?
Oh, you always do such a good job. It's such a good atmosphere. Everyone gets along, good venues. It's just always fun.
Yeah, I think that's important. There's the angling side, which we'll talk about in a minute, of winning, but I think what you've keyed on and said a lot is the fact that a lot of the guys come here because everyone's together. You know, we eat and sleep and drink together, and I think that really separates us from a lot of the tournaments that are out there.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
This whole year we've got obviously 14 rounds. What's your favorite round to go fishing?
Usually Foster.
Foster.
I love fishing the racks.
What reason, for the people who aren't familiar with Foster, why would you choose Foster?
It's the fishing's gnarly. You have to get lures into the dirtiest, darkest country to pull the biggest fish out, and you might get your lure in there, but you won't get the fish out. You know, it's pretty challenging, and you just never know what will happen next cast. You know.
When you say Foster, I always think of Russell Babacule. The same thing in the early days in 2009 and 10. Russell's in the kayaks, and Foster was one of his home grounds. It's quite good. How many rounds did you end up fishing this year?
I'm not sure. 2, 3 maybe.
2 or 3 rounds.
Oh, a couple that were mixed in with the Southern Bream series. So,
tell us how you went on day one and what did you do? Because we had a talk after fishing, kind of off camera and stuff, and you're a little bit rattled trying to work out that pattern. So, just tell us about your day one events out there.
Okay, well, honestly, I came up here wanting to fish deep. I love fishing deep, and most of the guys. Well, I knew a lot of the guys would just roll the edges, and they're really, really good at it. I can't compete with these guys in that. They're too good. So I went looking for deep fish, and I actually pre-fished with my mate Luke.
Okay.
We had a plan. He would stay on the edge, and I would fish wider and would see what happened. And we found a patch of fish on a weed edge that drops down to 3 metres. And he didn't want it. And he gave me pro lures.
That sounds good. And did you apply that same tactic then for the second day?
Yeah, well, the second day, I had a plan that I promised I would stick with. Go and get 4 on that same flat, because it fished pretty well on the first day. And then go around the back where I found a good school of deep fish and try and get some upgrades. And I never got the 4.
Okay, sounds good.
But I promised myself I would stay there regardless until I have 4. So.
All the way through. Good.
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab a couple of these lures that you had here. This is what you caught the fish on today?
That's correct. It's a little.
Let's hold it up. And what's that one?
It's a Pro Lure grub in motor oil.
Okay. There's a lot of lures out now that are very, very similar.
There's a lot like that. Yeah, they swim on the drop. They're a bit thicker than some. They're like the older Atomics. They're a bit thicker, so you can cast them a bit further, and they kind of sit on the hook a bit better.
Okay. And the other lure?
And the other one is these are great.
Little creature.
Yeah, little creature bait. They actually swim on the drop. The little claws actually kick along, and when you wind them at speed, they kick as well. So a lot better than most of the creature baits out there.
Sounds good. Now, has it kicked in yet?
No.
Not yet. About halfway down. Now, where are you from? You're from Sydney?
I'm from Sutherland.
Sutherland, okay, that sounds good. And how far did you actually go today to go fishing? Was it a couple of Ks?
Not far.
Just around the corner?
You can see we're on a point just behind us, to be honest. Straight across the other side, pretty much the first point.
Well done. Well, Stewie, thank you very, very much, and congratulations once again for your first place.
Stephen.
You're a very deserving champ, and I know you've been plugging away for a long time, and it's actually good to see you at the top of the heap.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you, Hobie. Awesome.